Okay, here we are. Hello, welcome to Coming Into Being. And yeah, here we are, both sides. Okay, coordinated with two devices and stuff. And anyways, hi Joni, good to see you. So if you're stopping by and you're new, this is Coming Into Being, and it's just the space and the group to, hey, Wisdom Happy, to just connect in, take that chill time to connect with ourselves and to connect in deeply and really come into our beings, because that's where everything starts from. You know, if you're not connected with yourself, then you're going to have a difficulty doing anything, and you won't be coming from that truly authentic place for yourself when you reach out and when you do with whatever you're doing. So this is the place for taking that time to be with ourselves, right? Uh, Hold on, grab my water here. Okay. Okay, so here we go. We're all set, ready to go. A little warm today, so we'll try to stay cool, yes? All right, so take a nice deep breath in and then exhale it all the way out. And you're hearing the bells ringing in the background. We're right next to the church, so letting us know it's time to start. And exhale all the way out. All the way out, and just squeezing all the air out of your lungs like you're just gotta let it all out and let it come back in naturally. Hi, Lydia. And if you're stopping by, feel free to say hi in the chat. So taking another nice deep breath in and then just letting it out like a big sigh. Sighs take your body into a deeper relaxation state. I'm gonna hopefully say this correctly. It's like it helps to reset with the parasympathetic nervous system. And one thing you can do is to go. So take like 2, 3, maybe even 4 really short, quick breaths in. And then you'll hit the top, and then your body, you just let it out and kind of switches into automatic and just relax. And then coming back into that, just wherever your breath is at, however your breath is in this moment. Allowing yourself to notice the air coming in through your nostrils, in through the sinus cavity area, down the back of the throat, down into the lungs. See how far you can follow it down, Hey, Carolina, you can usually follow it down fairly deep because it's cooler than the body, or maybe it's hotter than the body, and feeling that temperature difference, but noticing that. And let yourself just be aware of the breath for a moment here. And becoming more aware of your body, kind of just more aware, and just like coming your awareness, just kind of condensing more into your body as you bring that awareness into your breath. And notice what that feels like. What comes up around that? There's a lot that can come up with the breath. We think we're just breathing, but you could be breathing really shallowly, like you're just filling up this top part of your lungs. Or you might be breathing deeply, but you might notice that there's a tension in your body. Feels like there's somebody who's got is kind of in a little bit of a physical holding pattern. So the breath is okay, but there's this holding in the muscles in the nervous system that would indicate a state of stress or worry, fear kind of thing. So if you're noticing that, just notice it. Just like, oh, yeah, I'm feeling that. You can, say that to yourself. It's like, oh, I'm noticing that I'm feeling this tension here. I wonder what that's about. And there's somebody that's a little bit, I'm going to say, lost in another space that's a little bit dark, not very clean. And so you might be physically present here, but your mind is actually going kind of jumping around, trying to figure out what's going on in that environment. What's going on in the room next to you, or in a place that you're connected with and you're not in, So if you're doing that, you're splitting yourself in half. You have your physical body in one place and your awareness is going somewhere else. That's splitting you, excuse me, that's splitting you into two, basically. And so that's dissipating your essence in where it should be, which is your physical body. So that opens the door for all sorts of things to come in, push into you, take over your space, control you. At that non-physical level. So let's take another nice deep breath into all that, wherever you're at. And then hold it at the top for a little bit. And then exhale. And as you exhale, just allow yourself to drop down through your body. Kind of been through that before, but through your body. Like there's an elevator shaft in the middle of your body, and you're just sliding down. Your awareness is just sliding down and dropping all the way to the core of the earth. And notice as you're dropping down, notice if there's some part of you that is still somewhere else. Not everybody's doing. There's one person that's doing that. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting situation, because it's like this person is, it's like you're in a space. You're kind of in this space and you're kind of closed into that. And so feel your body. Everybody just pay attention to your body. Touch your cheeks. Feel your cheeks. Touch them with your hands, because that will give you tactile sensation to bring your awareness more into that. Feel your neck with your hands and bring your awareness into that. Put one hand on the top of your head, one hand on your neck, and feel yourself in that area of your body as well as the rest, but kind of focusing on head and neck. Feel your shoulders. Put your hands on your shoulders and feel your shoulders. There we go. Slipped you out of that place. Good. And Sydney, hello. Feel your arms. Just take your hands and just kind of squeeze, massage your upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, your hands, and bring your hands to, there's the upper ribs, the lower ribs. And the person who is kind of stuck in this little space, it's like you're out of there, but you are absolutely terrified to come into a cleaner space, I want to say, a space that is less distorted, because you are so used to being in a distorted space that being in a space that is not distorted is not familiar. And usually with what we're not familiar with, we tend to be more hesitant. And so just breathe into that. And everybody, just breathe into where you're at. Focus on your breath. Again, you can keep your hands, keep your hands at the lower ribs area, kind of like as if you have your hands on your hips, but just a little bit higher on those lower ribs. And as you breathe, feel, yeah, that has to be very good. Very good, Wisdom Happy. Glad you picked up on that for yourself. That's good. So just notice that. And that holds true to some extent in different ways for all of us, Let's focus in on that breath and imagine, just not imagine, but feel yourself as you're breathing, pushing against those lower ribs. So feeling that those ribs expand and feeling that pushing against your, kind of pushing against your hands on there. So it's okay to feel uneasy. There's nothing wrong with that. With all of us, just any new things that we're facing, any situations that we're unsure about, or that we have negative anticipation of, just give yourself this time like we're doing right now. Take a deep breath in, hold it, feel that sense for yourself of, where you're at. And with that kind of nervousness, that stress, that tension, however it's showing up for you. Be present, just say, okay, yeah, I'm noticing that for myself. I'm not looking forward to this. Maybe something's coming up that you are a little hesitant about. It's like, I'm not, just acknowledge where you're at. Plain and simple. Instead of telling ourselves, it's like, oh yeah, I can handle it, no problem. Yeah, and I'm feeling nervous, but yeah, no problem, I can handle it. It's just like, take a moment, acknowledge yourself where you're at. We're kind of on the new moon. We were kind of on that theme a little bit. Had our discussions, like how to love yourself. Be present with yourself, with what's happening for you in the moment. You don't have to stay there forever, but taking that time to say, yep, I'm feeling this. If you think back on your lives, probably had very little of that ever in your life, of just being present, not trying to change anything, just saying, I hear you. I hear where you're at. Yeah. Boy, that really doesn't feel fun. I don't like feeling this, but I just want to acknowledge to myself that I'm feeling this way. And then acknowledge, this is just something I'm experiencing. So it's okay. I'm just experiencing this right now in this moment. And then you just, it allows you to just be okay with being uncomfortable. And when you become okay with being uncomfortable, you can kind of relax a little bit more. Ease into that. It's like, okay, yeah, it's not pleasant, but I can do this. It's all right. And if it's like what I mentioned, I mean, that's really common. We always kind of focus on things that have a negative anticipation for us. But when it's something that is better or brighter, or however you want to put it, better, brighter, more expansive, more joyful, and we're not used to being in something better, then it's scary. It's scary. It's like, whoa, can I handle this? That starts to tap into self-worth. We can't step into something that's better for us. Instead of, we kind of hold back. It's like, I don't feel comfortable. It's like, it's like, no, I deserve this. I deserve to be in something better. I deserve to be in this brighter space. Yeah. And you will find people making all sorts of reasons for, well, no, that's really not going to work for me. That person is not going to work out right. So I'm not going to get into that situation. And at times people are doing that because they just are holding back for themselves. So just to be aware of that, to kind of look at that for yourself in the moment. Well, I'm feeling stressed out. Okay, why am I feeling stressed out? Is it something negative or is it something positive? Is it like I'm holding back on stepping into more for myself? So let's take a deep breath into that and that idea and that concept, and hold it at the top a little bit, and then just exhale, coming back into your chest area and center yourself. Let's get everybody centered in. Yeah, good. You guys are getting the flow here, which is good. Feeling yourself connected into the earth, just dropping your awareness down to the core of the earth. So good. Let's go in just a little bit deeper. Yeah. And when you really connected to the earth, I can feel it. And so this is what it feels like. I can feel it for the whole group. It's like there's kind of like pulling. Then when you really get in there, it's like there's kind of this relaxation and this dropping down that happens. Whereas before, it's kind of like you feel like you're trying to keep your head up above water a little bit, that kind of feeling. Or, when you have a balloon and you try to pull it underwater. So it's kind of like there's a little bit of that tension. And then as soon as you connect in, boof, that sensation drops, this dropping in, dropping down. Yeah. So good. And kind of that relaxation out, that expansion out. Yeah. And you might not get an answer right now, but just put that question to your mind now without looking for an answer. Just like you're putting it out there in the ethers. Let's see what the ethers have to say to that. It's like, where am I holding back on myself, expanding out? How am I holding back on myself? Yeah. So little light bulbs trying to go off. Don't try to figure it out. Just kind of put it there. Yeah. Sometimes we get so used to having to figure things out for ourselves that that was a little bit of a pattern of kind of going, getting on that hamster wheel of trying to figure it out. So yeah, that's right. The person got it. That's cute. That person got it. It's cute because all of a sudden I was seeing the person go when I said that. I was like, oh, and step out of that. So yeah, very good. It'll come to you. It doesn't need to come right now. It will come to you when you're not looking for it, when it's time for you to hear it. And the more you're able to just let go and just say, okay, well, that answer will come to me whenever, the sooner you'll get the answer. And sooner things will just kind of start showing up or happening or, kind of thing. Yeah, that's good. That was interesting. Just that little exercise I had you guys do is helping everybody to just expand out, relax out. So instead of holding yourself really tightly, which is kind of the way this whole piece of basically self-limitation was showing up, was just, and you're not noticing. It's one of these things where you don't really notice it, and then it shifted like just now, and then it's like, oh wait, I can expand more, I can grow into more. And just the concept of I can grow into more, I can step into more for myself, helps to just, oh, let's open that door. Let's open that door. So you might not be in a place of needing to step into something right now, or wanting to step into something, or wanting to expand, but just putting that idea in your system. It's like, oh, wait, we can do that. So that's helped you all to just relax a little bit more. So let's take a moment here of just that pausing into more. You don't need to go boom, full blast, expand all the way out, and you don't want to do that. Mostly because what happens is your system has to adapt and take it in, adjust. It's like, okay, let's get used to this, and then take it in, shift into that, then can go expand some more. When it's kind of settled, and that's like, oh yeah, okay, this feels comfortable. Now we can expand some more. Expand a little bit, take it in, make the adjustments necessary, get used to that. It's like, make that the norm, and then expand into some more. So, and we get pulled into wanting to go into just that boom, because sometimes those experiences do come up, and it's kind of like the wow experience, yeah. And everywhere you look, I mean, it's like that's what catches our attention. It's like boom, the big explosion, the big wow. It's a lot of that gets. I'm going to say it gets abused by on social media. It's hard not to make use of that, because that's what gets people's attention, basically. But if YouTube or Instagram or whatever, look at those posts where it's like you've got the person going, or it's like, you'll never believe what's going to happen. It's kind of like expand into your boom, and it's like gives you that sense of that boom, that wow, and burst, and yeah, that's great. But most of the time, the system won't be able to hold that. So it might go whoosh, expand out, and then it'll take it in for so long, and then it just has tendency to just kind of pull back in. So that's like if you go to workshops, where you do a lot of energetics and stuff like that, you feel all expanded, and everybody feels really chummy and really good connection with everybody, and we're all one kind of feeling, and you feel all expanded. See how long that will last on your own after you come back from the workshop. More likely than not, it might last up to a month, depending on what the workshop was about or something. And then you just tend to go back to pretty close to where you were before. That's because when you go to these workshops, everybody is pumping energy into everybody. So you're really getting stoked up and everything. But once you step out of that, can you hold it? Can you maintain on your own is key. So that's why it's kind of better just like, okay, let's expand a bit here. Take that in. And when that gets settled in, when you get, okay, yeah, now let's expand some more, so that you can keep growing positively, because otherwise what happens is that you expand And then it's like a rubber band pulling you right back to where you were before. So you're not really making any progress. You're just going to expand, boop, 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 going back and forth. Yeah. Yeah, it's there's a little bit of like, oh gosh, really disappointment. It's not quite disappointment, but yeah, kind of a little bit of disappointment. It's just like I just want to be there. Yeah, we all do. I will just say amen to that. We all do. Yeah. So, oh, just allowing ourselves to sit in that. Okay, this, it won't happen in an instant, but it will happen. You keep focusing on moving into that place of expanding for yourself, growing little by little, and it comes to you. It happens. It comes in. So it's a little slower, can be a little harder depending on what you're working with to do it yourself. But that's all right. That's your journey. You can work with somebody else, like if you did a private session with me or something, or with another person, it's like that might help you, give you a bump up. And that's okay too. And what's more important with all this, it's really not good for my business. I'll be very honest with you. What's really important is that you do what's in alignment with yourself. You connect into the deepest level of yourself. You're doing this right now. Let's take you in even deeper. So take a nice deep breath in. Hold it at the top. Really feel yourself just pull your awareness into that center line in you. Like you're pulling, like there's this line, there's this channel of light at the core of you, and there is. And just bringing your awareness, focusing your awareness on that. You can even visualize just this line going through if you want. Pulling yourself in there. Feeling coming into that alignment first. Yeah. Have you stay here because everybody's right in that place, so that's really good. Really feeling that for yourself, that alignment to you. Even if your mind gets pulled out, that's okay. Just like, okay, yeah, and come right back into that. It's what's more important is coming back to that alignment. If you aren't managing to quite just stay there, that's fine. Be okay with that. And then just like, oops, okay, come back in. As soon as you notice that you're pulled out, it's like, oh, okay, come back into that alignment for yourself. You keep coming back to it. That's the most important piece. Yeah, there you go. And from this place of that alignment, having that sense of what is right for you to do in this moment. Okay, there's somebody that's got, who's trying to figure that out for herself. Should I do this? Should I do that? And you're actually still doing that. And if you notice it, really be clear with yourself. Be honest. Be really honest, straightforward. It's like, okay, yeah, I really want to do this, but it kind of, I am feeling kind of like a little bit in that direction, but I really want to go this direction. Yeah, breathe into that. there's a lot of self-judgment for this person of, I want to be going in this direction. I don't want to be going in that. And you have this sense that you're supposed to be going in that direction. And that you're carrying a lot of judgment for yourself on, to really just simplify it here. It's like, well, I'm a better person if I go in this direction. It's like, scratch that. If you go in a direction that is not really quite in that alignment for yourself, you're not doing what you need to be doing for yourself. And even when this direction feels like, oh God, that's just going to take me down lower and all that. It's taking you exactly where you need to go to move deeper into that alignment for yourself. Connect and more for yourself. Dig deeper into what's in the way of you connecting more deeply for yourself. And so at the surface, it might look like, God, this is the wrong way. But it's taking you exactly where you need to go to get to that higher place. Because if you go that way, you're thinking, oh, this is going to show that this is going to prove, even if it's to prove to yourself, that I'm more advanced, I'm higher up, I'm more elevated, I'm more together. You're not. And there's a bit of mental run around here of trying to. So again, let's everybody take a nice deep breath in. We're doing this practice here. Good practice for everybody here. So take another nice deep breath in. Hold it at the top. Exhale down completely, all the way out. Just squeeze all the air out. Focus on squeezing all that air out of your lungs until there's nothing, not an ounce left of it. And your body just go, and then fill up, exhale, and coming back into that regular breath, back into that chest space, coming back into that center of your chest space. So feeling your awareness kind of move back from the front. Yeah. Relaxing. Yeah. Feeling that deeper alignment to yourself. And if you find yourself, whether it's now or another time when you're doing that, of just can kind of still feel that pull, just, okay, let's just put that aside. There's too much tension. I'm holding too much tension of trying to go in a certain direction. Just let's put it aside. Put it aside for now, because you're not allowing yourself to connect as deeply as you can and as deeply as you need to find that right direction, to hear it and to do it for yourself. And I will grant you that there's some of that stuff out there that we just need to do that we don't really want to do. That's just part of the game here, So that's okay. Just be okay with that. Just kind of like, oh God, just shrug, Okay. Deep breath in. Notice any kind of dis-ease you might be feeling right now. That's okay. No clear answers. That's all right. The clear answer will come. And so giving yourself this moment, it's like, okay, and just, acknowledge that for yourself. I want a clear answer. I'm not getting it. Just say that to yourself right now. And you can even do this. I've been saying this lately. It's like, say your name, whatever. Joanne, Caroline, Sydney, Lydia, Janine. I want a clear answer. I know you want a clear answer, but it's like, we're just not going to get it right now. So let's just kind of relax into not having that answer. Yeah, that's basically the surrendering that we all need to do. And it's feeling tough for everybody right now to this piece. And this is letting yourself just go into that surrender. There's a lot of judgment on self right now in this group that's showing up. And a lot, there's just, let's take out a lot. There's self-judgment showing up. And that self-judgment of I should be, I want to be, I was wanting to be, I was hoping to be in a higher place for myself, in a better place. You're exactly where you need to be right now. Yeah. So relaxing into that. Because that's one of the things that's keeping you from aligning to yourself. So surrendering to that feeling to help you surrender into just that deeper alignment for yourself. And, you can also kind of laugh at that if you can. And just laughing at the frustration of that. Yeah. Yeah, very good. Okay, this is another workout session for everybody, so that's good. Because this is the kind of stuff that's harder to do, that's harder to get through on your own. That can be, let's put it that way, that can be more challenging to get through as we struggle with ourselves. But yeah, so let's take another deep breath into that. Struggle, that resistance, that kind of whatever. Hold it at the top. And then as you let go, just drop yourself all the way down to the core of the earth. Coming into the core of the earth. Yeah, there you go. Sorry about if you're hearing, you might be hearing a fan noise on Instagram there. And just, there we go. Just kind of relaxing into that connection, into that place of just being connected in the earth, being grounded. And as you are in that place of connecting into the earth, notice an object around you. Anything, doesn't matter. Just first object you look at, just notice it. Notice the tip of your nose as you're looking at that object. Okay, I'm going to pick another object. Notice that object. And then notice the small of your back. See if you can notice, take a couple of objects that are not in the same direction. So look at them for a minute and have a sense of where they are relative to your body. So kind of notice them, maybe one out of the corner of your eye kind of thing, one. And then feel yourself, feel your body. Notice like between your shoulder blades. As you're aware of those two things, yeah. Notice any smells, maybe inhale a little bit more deeply. And pay attention to the smell. And then notice your toes. Notice any sounds that you're picking up on. Notice where they're coming from relative to where you are. And then notice your knees. Okay. Now notice your whole body. Just be aware of your whole body and the space that you're in. See if you can get a sense of how much space your body is taking in relative in this the space that you are. Yeah. Yeah, very good. It's feels a little disorienting to one or two because you're not used to being in your body and physical in that physical presence of yourself as much as you can be. So that's all right. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's take another nice deep breath in. Hold it at the top and then just let it out. Okay, very good. Um, one of those gym workout sessions, but good work. Yeah, just giving you that, getting familiar with some of these pieces because these can be very difficult pieces. Even though they're very simple, they just become very difficult. So I'm going to flash my little value donation for YouTube. There you go. If you want to make, if you're inclined to make a donation, whether you're live or after the fact watching, there you are. And Instagram, just follow the link in the bio if you're inclined. But there you go. Really, some important pieces that it's always worth taking a look at again because we have to keep and bringing those into your life. You know, using those. So now you've got build up more familiarity with letting go of I want I want but I don't want to go over there, but I like feel like I need to go there. Or that letting go, that coming into yourself, whatever you're feeling in this moment. So good work, everybody. As we get more familiar with doing something, then it becomes easier. You know, it's like you don't get on a bike and are able to ride it right away smoothly. You get on, get practice, develop that skill. So that was one of these sessions today. All right. Well, there we have it for today. Thank you all for hopping on. And I don't know if anybody has any questions. So, all right. Well, we'll call it a day here. And next Wednesday, as always, we'll be back. So do feel free to stop by and join next Wednesday, and we'll see you either next Wednesday or wherever else we connect in the ethers. Thank you for such a wonderful session. Really needed this. Yes, you were. That was you. That was you at the end. I think you know who you were, but I didn't call out names, but I think people got who they were. So very good. All right, take care, everybody, and until next time. And thanks for, yeah, a little heart from Joni there. Yeah, good to see you too.